I
Figuring
never
it out.
know. I never know what I'm
Oh,
doing
in progress. I
when it
see.
comes to recording. Do you know how to work
My
this
phone
thing?
is getting blown up right now.
Blown up.
Getting
What's happening in your house?
it's like a dinner party. We're just having actually it's
Oh,
gonna be very nice. We
that's
got some
nice.
prawns, we got some I don't know what we got. Let's go see what the
Who's
chef's
cooking?
got.
Who's cooking?
Just no cocaine. Well, not yet anyways.
Okay.
Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
I'll
What
count
do we
you
have?
in, okay, Ben? Are you ready? I'll count you in.
Too many fucking cooks in the kitchen.
Sorry,
wait.
sorry.
Are you helping or just
Ladies
fucking
and
standing in the
gentlemen,
way?
all the way from
I'm talking
Penticton,
to
British
the
Columbia,
candidate's got
it's
talent or no, the
Mr.
voice, right?
Stanley, aka Benjamin Bunny, aka
I'm
Benny Banana, aka Benny the Pain in the Ass. Benny, welcome to the program.
I'm talking to Canada's Got Talent's next star or
The Voice, The
what? Wait,
Voice.
what?
It's an
The
American program. It's
voice, the
American
voice.
television. Yeah,
Yeah. Did
it's
you actually
American.
you auditioned and got on that?
I have an audition tomorrow. They've screened me once, and I have another
Okay.
audition tomorrow. So wish me, thank you for the luck. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. You think you're actually gonna get on?
I believe so. I believe I'm gonna win. If I get on, I win. If I don't get on, then I'll go nowhere. But yeah.
And you're gonna just mess with those judges.
Yeah, it's Ender's Game, man. Like I think I can play those judges. I'll annoy the fuck out of them, but then they'll realize that they have to hire me. You have to be so good.
They'll be like, "Oh,
No,
that guy
no,
was so
really.
good. They're gonna kick you off the show," but they're gonna be like, "That guy was just so good that we're
Yeah,
gonna
no, you
put
know who
you.
Steve
They're
Martin
gonna give
is?
you
Do
a
you know who
record
Steve
contract."
Martin is?
Steve
Do
Martin?
you know who Steve Martin?
Yeah,
His
of
advice,
course.
his advice to anyone auditioning is be so good that they can't say no. And I think that really is the way.
Yeah.
So I brought you on today, Benny, to talk about relationships. This is going to be a fun show. I'm excited. You're kind of a relationship guru. You have a high body count.
You're fucking. You're ridiculous.
You're an expert on
No, I'm not
Tinder.
talking to
And
Parm. I'm not talking to Parm.
do you use the Hinge app at all?
No. It's not. Don't worry about it. It's not Parm. By the way, talking about Parm, I saw a guy today that looked exactly like Parm. He was just taller. But have you seen that guy? I was like Parm, and he's like,
Flip flops. I'm like, yo, dude, he looks exactly like I know exactly who we're talking about.
I was like, dude. I was like, you got a twin. He's just taller.
I was looking like this. I was like,
Wait, what?
and
Yeah.
then I looked back, and I was like, he's way past the farm. Okay, never mind.
But he walks like Parm, and he looks like Parm.
And he wears short shorts and fucking like slides.
I was like, yo. Okay. So
Right,
I
you
gotta
ready
do
to
some.
go? Let's go.
I'm in my room. All right, so let's
No
get to
worries.
this. So,
Yeah, let's get on to it.
okay. So, I don't know. I'm just like a man whore these days. You know.
So what is your body count? Are
No,
you
I'm
are
just
you willing
kidding.
are you willing to disclose what your
Uh,
body count is? Is it 20?
it's
Is it more
low.
than 20?
Less.
Less than 20. Okay. More
I'm
than
not a
15?
man whore.
You're not a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a whore. These days, yeah, you're not a whore. There's body counts like Gen Z. They're in the hundreds, man. It's scary.
It is scary. What's your body count, Cosmic Threader?
I don't disclose that publicly. I'll tell you offline,
Oh,
but I don't disclose it publicly. Yeah, no, you can say no. Please feel free. Protect your privacy by all means. If you don't feel comfortable sharing, then don't.
no, I said, oh, I didn't say no. I said, oh, when you
Oh
said
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
disclose.
yeah. I
It's
don't want to
private
disclose my
information.
body count. It's low though. Mine is low by most
Yeah,
standards. It's
mine's
low.
low too. I mean, I don't think,
Yeah.
in that range of less than 20 is not
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something
it's
to be said.
I'm almost 30, I'm gonna be 30 years old this year, right? So I mean, I
Holy
don't think
shit,
that's
you're over the hill.
I know, right? Like
Yeah, you're old.
30?
Over
I
30
got
years.
gray in my beard and a little bit of gray on my hair
It
on the
looks black.
side.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
see a little gray. I saw one gray hair.
there,
Yeah, you have a couple
there's a
coming in.
little bit coming in,
Yep,
yeah.
you have a
Yeah,
couple. I have no gray at
stressed.
all. I have no gray at all.
That's because you have like no hair.
That's the
That's why
solution.
you get away with it, right?
That's the
That's
solution to
why.
the problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
just shave it off or a hat with a bear on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hinge, do you use the app Hinge at all? Have you tried that one?
I don't do apps. I meet
No
everybody
apps.
in the
No
wild.
apps. Okay.
I meet them in the
Okay.
wild. Okay,
And you do
that's
very
how I
well.
roll.
From what I've noticed, you do extremely well with the ladies. Like they're just all over you. They
Yeah,
love the
yes and
Benny.
no. Yes and
Oh,
no.
so is
I'm
it
a
a
bad
numbers
man.
game? You
No, I'm
get
just kidding.
rejected a lot?
I'm not a bad man, but I have been getting myself into some bad situations lately.
Oh,
And
what do you mean?
I
Explain
just
the
need
last
to,
bad situation.
well, you know, when you're really in love with someone and then you start making decisions because someone said something or something's been bothering you,
Yeah.
and then you go out and you think that, you know, you're upset, you're angry, frustrated,
Yeah.
and then you go and you meet a girl at a bar, and then you bring that girl home, and then you sleep with that girl.
Okay.
You know, shit like that. It's what I've been kind of, you know, not been doing, but like,
So like one night stands, just like a whole bunch of one night stands.
well, not, you know, it's not a whole bunch. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I've only done two other ones.
Well, you were with the midgets for a while. You were really into or sorry,
The
little people.
midget,
You were into the dwarf.
the
What do you,
mid
do you say? Can you say dwarf I mean, I know there's the whole Snow White controversy. Can you say dwarf in 2025? I don't even know.
dwarf is actually better than midget. So
Okay, so you can say dwarf.
yeah, I would say
And
dwarf is actually,
little person is the democratic version of dwarf. Like I don't even know what they're doing.
I don't know, maybe. But the midget, no, the dwarf, that wasn't really a relationship. You know, I was with her for like a month.
Wrong. You're canceled. You're canceled, Benny Banana.
Oh, I'm canceled. Oh no, I said dwarf. That's in fact, actually, when I was with the dwarf, she told me, she said, call me a dwarf, or like she liked people to call her a dwarf. Like
Okay,
that's
and
actually
are the
how they,
rumors true? Is the sex actually way better with dwarves? Is it true?
you know,
No, no.
no, I was gonna say, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's any different than with a normal sized woman, you know? Like
Well,
it's,
why were you dating a dwarf to begin with? Can you explain your mindset here? Because some of us are having problems, figuring out why you would be with a dwarf. You're fairly
you
tall.
know,
You know,
I'm 6 feet. Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall.
you're a good looking
Um,
you're a good looking Portuguese Canadian guy. Like, why would you
yeah.
choose a dwarf over, all these other like normal sized people? You know,
You know that I will just say first that relationship didn't last long,
no,
but
it did.
I will
No, it was a
explain. I will
phase.
explain why that happened.
Right. Okay.
It was different. Number one, it was different.
Yeah.
And when I met her at a bar because
Okay.
that's how I
Okay.
do it in the
Yep.
wild.
Yep. Yep.
And everybody came back to the house. We had like kind of a party. We invited people back, and she was one of those people that we invited back.
Yep. Yep.
And then when she got to the house, I just said basically like, um, you know, I think you're really cute, and she was really cute, you know,
Yeah. You showed me a picture.
and
She seems like a cute girl. Yeah. Nice
yeah, she
girl.
was very cute.
Yeah.
So I, you know, then went and you know, hooked up with her, and then we started kind of dating, but it didn't last that long. It lasted a month, you know. It was I think there
So
was
you
just
think
things that what
you
happened was, I think, let me explain this. I think that what happened was she was a church going girl, and you know, I don't think that she felt like I was the guy to be with because she was
I
such
think you know what I think? I think the shorter the person, the shorter the relationship. They're not like us.
a that's ridiculous.
The genetics are different. The genetics are totally different. I think the dwarves and the hobbits they should not interbreed with humans. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there. I know it's very
Why is your
controversial.
hat like why are you wearing your cap so low like that? You know, like you can't see your
I
eyes,
have
like
kind of a
trying to
black
hide.
eye. I have kind of a black eye. I
Oh,
don't know if you can see
who
it.
punched you?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's rough. I'm in Vancouver. It's really rough here.
Well, yeah, I mean you're in Vancouver, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
really
makes
rough
sense.
here. It's surprisingly rough, and it's going to get worse because the economy's bad. There's a lot of unhoused people here. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people on these crazy drugs here. I don't
It's
want to
no
focus
different
on
than here,
that.
man. That's no
Yeah,
different than here. Penticton's
and
really
you're
bad.
in Penticton. Yeah, it's bad there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's lots of these young women, right? Young dwarves are lining up to date people.
Well, enough about the dwarf because that was short-lived and
Right, so you're over with that. But like as
yeah.
from a
That
coaching
was a
point of
long
view,
time ago too. Like that was like 7 months, 6, 7 months
yeah,
ago
that was a
now,
while
right?
ago. But from a coaching point of view, should you be pursuing the dwarves? Like, is this an experience worth having, do you think, for like a young single guy in Canada?
I think if someone has a fantasy about
Right.
being with a dwarf, they should go and fulfill their fantasy with a dwarf. That's how
Is
I
this what
feel.
you were pursuing?
That
You had a fantasy about dwarves?
I mean, yeah, kinda, I guess. Like I think that there's a lot of guys
Benny?
like that. They're
Oh,
like,
Benny.
you could just,
Cheers.
try that
Cheers
out.
to that, buddy. You know,
Yeah. I wish I had
cheers
a
to that.
drink to cheer you with, but
Why
I
don't you? You
can't.
have
I'm not
Amstel?
going in the kitchen right now because chefs are in the kitchen right now, and I got to stay
Yeah,
out of the
you're having a
kitchen.
bit of a party there. That's exciting.
Yeah, more
Um,
people coming in a bit, in like probably 15 minutes or so.
yeah, lots of people
But yeah,
coming.
yeah. But if you want to talk about, I can give some advice
Okay.
about relationships and
Yeah,
whatnot
yeah.
for the podcaster.
Let's pretend we're on a first date. I'll be the girl. So
No,
we're
let's
on a
not
first.
do that. Let's not
You
do
don't want
that.
to do that?
Let's.
Okay.
Can I just give some good advice to young men
Yeah,
or
sure.
any
Yeah,
man who wants
please
to
do. Yeah, please
meet
do.
people?
Yeah.
If you want to meet somebody and you go out to the bar and you
Okay.
do meet somebody,
Like a short, like a little person.
it doesn't have to be a
Like
little person, it can be a normal sized person, a little person, whoever it
somebody in
is.
entertainment. Somebody was in Willow.
Someone
Did you hear Val
anybody.
Kilmer died? Did you hear Val Kilmer died?
I did. But
It's kind of
can I
sad.
finish
He was
this?
only
I,
65 years old.
yeah. Can I finish
Hmm.
this advice that I want to give?
Dude, yeah.
So if you go to a bar, or you even if you do the dating apps, whatever it is, and you go out for a date with somebody, or you just genuinely meet someone and connect with someone genuinely, right? If you really like someone, never cheat on them because
Why would
that
you
is
cheat
what
on him?
I fucking did.
Of course you did,
And
because
when you actually feel
yeah,
love for someone,
yeah.
you shouldn't do that. And
But,
even if
but why?
there's red
Wait,
flags,
stop,
even if
stop,
there's
stop.
red flags,
Why are you cheating on her to begin with? Like,
this is
you
what I'm
just
gonna
don't.
get at. This is what I'm gonna
Okay,
get at. Let me
okay,
explain.
yeah.
Even if there's red flags and you have questions about things, you should go and ask yourself before you make accusations, are these red flags so significant that you decide and to get angry and make a decision to go out and mess with another woman, right?
I say no. No.
And I say no too. I say that you should look at it, you should talk, you should be more open, and you should everything if it's something, if you're not connecting with someone and it can't be explained by talking to someone that you're in a relationship with,
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
shouldn't be in the relationship at all.
yeah. No, no.
That's it.
Exactly.
So
And
so
if you
that's
feel like
why
you want
this
to
is
cheat, then just break up with the person and then go be with the other person. Like,
yeah. And
why
not
go?
even
Yeah, behind their
feeling
back.
like
You
you
don't need
want
to.
to cheat. I'm not trying to put it that way because you might not necessarily feel like you want to cheat, but you might feel
Yeah,
like someone has done you wrong, and then you go and you act on it and make a bad decision,
yeah,
even though your intention is still you still love that person, but don't hold on to them if you're going to go and do that.
yeah.
You should never do that. It's something
I
I've
think what
learned.
I think what's happening is women particularly are so traumatized by what's happening in the dating arena
Yeah.
that they're piling on sort of these accumulated damages. So anyone that comes into their sphere, they just
They
attack them.
have the thoughts of the past
Yeah,
relationships. I get that.
they're in
That
attack
also
mode.
goes for men.
Yeah.
That also goes for men. That
You think
goes for
so?
me
Yeah.
too. as
Okay.
you know, about my almost 1 year relationship, that
Yeah.
goes for me too. So this is
Yeah.
why I acted the way I acted too, or why I saw the red flags but it wasn't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
bad. It wasn't even as bad. The red flags were not as bad as my ex, like from my almost 1 year relationship with my ex.
There was a long
Couple.
relationship for you. Yeah. Like, a year is a long
And
time
that
for
was a
you.
long relationship for me.
Yeah.
And
Are
I
you
learned a
familiar?
lot in that relationship, but I also held on to a lot of baggage from that
Yeah.
relationship and brought it into my other relationships. And
Yeah.
now I feel horrible about that because I should have never, ever, ever brought any of that into those relationships.
Yeah, no, she's not a doorman. You can't just bring all this luggage and expect
Here
her
you
to,
go. Just carry my
yeah,
bags.
you
Yeah. Like,
just carry all my
and,
luggage.
and just accept me
Yeah,
and carry my bags. And you can't do that.
yeah.
You just
No, you can't do
can't
that to
do
a
that.
person, or you shouldn't. You shouldn't end up in those situations. Are you familiar with it? There's a YouTuber. His name is Hoe-Math. Are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
You should check him out. I'm gonna give him a shout out because he's sort of explaining a lot of what's happening between men and women, sort of the mindset and why
Yeah.
it's happening. And yeah, he's a little bit jaded. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
And he's a little bit unfair, I think. But that's happening
Towards
across the
what?
board,
Towards
you
men or
know,
women? What? How is he
towards
unfair?
women.
What
He's
is?
very unfair towards women, I think. Um, but that's bound to happen because there's just so much animosity between men and women right now when it comes to the dating arena that
Mhm.
that's bound to happen. But check out Home Math. Um,
Okay.
because he explains quite succinctly what's going on. You're kind of protected from that because what are you, 5'9", 5'8", 5'9"?
I'm 6 feet. Not,
You're 6 feet. Yeah,
I
so
am not a short Portuguese man.
yeah,
Okay.
so you're tall.
My dad
You're
is
good.
white. He's
Yeah,
English. See,
you're
that's why I get my
yeah,
genetics. I'm tall because of my
yeah.
dad, not my
So
mother. That's for
y- part of it
sure.
is working for you is you're in the sweet zone, right? You're 6 feet.
Yeah. I'm tall, dark,
You're
and handsome. That's it.
yeah, you're tall. Exactly. You're the knight in shining armor. But then they meet you and they start talking to you, and then they find out that you're actually,
Just
a
nuts. I'm
degenerate.
crazy. No.
You're a gambler.
Yeah.
You.
Everybody's got their vices, right? Some people are
Well, yeah,
alcoholics. Some people are
we all
gamblers,
have
right?
problems. We're all basically garbage at the end of the day. Um, so
Not everybody's garbage. Not everybody.
yeah,
There's you know, there's
so
some that are good. I'm still a
I had
good person. I just have a
I had
gambling
a
issue.
point here. But you're
That's all.
experiencing the sweet zone. I think part of the reason you're so successful is because of, you have the height and you're the tall, dark, and handsome, sort of the archetype.
Mm.
So, are you worried that that's going to end at some point? Are you worried that, you're going to hit a wall with that?
When I die.
Okay, so you think you'll have this.
Honestly, I don't think like I'm gonna look any different in the next 20 years. I don't know if I'm gonna be alive in the next 20 years because of my MS. That I also my health. I don't take care of my health anymore, and I should be actually
Why
taking
not?
care.
Wait, so you're not eating healthy?
Well, not eating healthy is one of those things,
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm supposed to be taking medication for my MS, right? And I'm
you're
not.
not taking it?
I'm not doing the infusions that they want me to do.
You should
Um,
take that stuff. If they're recommending you take it, you should take it.
yeah, they have, but there's reasons why I don't take it. Like the number one reason I'll tell you why I don't take it. The number one reason is because if I take it, I cannot ever have a child. I
It
want a
makes you
child.
sterile. It makes you sterile.
Well, I don't know if it makes you sterile, but it does something to your sperm,
Right. So
and
you're kind of in a hurry.
I don't know.
No, kind of in a hurry.
This is the house I live in. Yeah, you hear all that?
I didn't hear anything.
But anyways, yeah, we're having a dinner. We're having a dinner party tonight. More people are coming in a bit, and you know, um, I'm glad we did this. I mean, we could still talk a little more if you have any more questions, but
Oh, I have
we're not gonna
I
go.
have so many questions. You said to me once that you're gay on Saturdays. What does that even mean? Um,
For the boys, Saturdays are for the boys. It's a saying, right?
what does this mean? Are you bisexual?
I
Are
don't
you trisexual?
know. No, no,
You
definitely not. No,
but
Saturdays are
no,
for
you
the
said that,
boys. It's
right?
just like a saying, right?
You'll admit that you said you're gay on Saturdays?
Hey, man, it's a joke. and Saturdays are for the
You're-
boys.
Okay, so you're totally kidding. Okay, so
Oh,
it's
of
not.
course.
It's not kidding.
Um, yeah, just weird things of my life lately. I just got a weird text. Anyways, doesn't matter. Go ahead. Ask me
You got
another
a weird
question.
text? Are you willing to share it with us?
No.
Oh, it's really
Go on.
weird.
Give me another question. Give me
Okay.
another question.
Okay. The other question is, say there's a guy that he's like the 40-year-old virgin. You know, he's
Okay.
never been laid.
Hmm.
What's your advice for that guy at
Just getting
this
out.
in 2025? Because it's really hard now, right? To even talk to people.
No, listen, this is easy. This is easy for an older
This is
man like that.
okay. Yeah.
Because older men, if they go to the bar and they start talking to young girls are usually interested in these older men. I've seen
That's
it
true.
many
Yeah.
times. So
Yeah.
all they have to do, go to the bar, talk to a younger chick, maybe
Yeah.
buy her a drink, and just talk. Like that's
What
it.
kind of
It's
drink
so
is it? Is there a certain is it tequila? You know, a vodka? Is there a specific kind of drink, or does it not matter?
um I mean whatever they want. Get them
Anything they
whatever
want.
they want. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's it. And then you're set. You just buy them a drink.
Maybe encourage them to play pool with you. Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot
So
of things that
tell some
that
jokes, have some
guy
fun,
could do.
see what happens.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
you
Well,
know,
that seems like some pretty solid advice. Um, Jesus. We're in trouble here. This channel's in trouble. We
this channel is in trouble. What's going on with the channel?
we need better experts. You know. I know what I want to ask you. Mr. Tate. You know who I mean when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say
yeah.
Mr. Tate? He's one of your
Yes.
influences, isn't he?
No, no. I listened to him a little bit like a couple of years ago, but
Okay.
I don't agree with a lot of what he says. Actually, I don't agree with
Oh,
that at
good. So
all.
what do you agree with what he says, and what do you disagree with?
Well, from what I remember, he was talking about,
Andrew Tate.
like being,
Yeah.
you know, what was he saying? He was saying he was the be I don't remember. What was he saying? He was saying how men should be around women, how they should treat women, and all this. And I'm like,
Right. Yeah, he talks a
I don't
lot
know,
about this.
like how like one thing I will say. He says, "Don't be a cuck," right? He was saying, "Don't be a cuck." Like, don't allow
Does
women
he
to
say
walk
that?
all over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he did. Like, I think he was saying, like, "Don't be a cuck." Like, don't let women walk all over you and shit like that.
Right. It's good
And
advice, I think,
and
to a
it is
certain
good
degree. Yeah,
advice, like for sure.
certain degree.
Sometimes you have to though, bend over backwards for certain situations. I'm not a cuck, but sometimes I realize that if I love someone and I feel like I have to do something for that person because of out of love, I bend over backwards to do that thing. I'm
Yeah.
not a bad man. I'm a good man.
No, you're not a bad guy.
I
Yeah.
know that sometimes I do that. But I'm not going to allow a woman to walk all over me. I already had a woman walk all over me for almost 1 year.
Yeah. You
And
have a,
I will
yeah,
never, ever, 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 ever allow a woman to do that to me
you
again.
won't get in that situation again. Yeah. So what was it? What was it that broke you so that you found yourself in that situation? So for people that are worried that they're going to be exploited, what's your advice to them? Like, how can you kind of dodge that bullet, I guess?
Be careful with your money. Number one,
Be careful with your
don't
money. Yeah.
don't buy women whatever they want.
Okay.
Uh, Set boundaries, I guess.
Boundaries. Yeah.
Uh,
So you had no boundaries? Is that was the problem? Is you didn't set boundaries?
no, didn't set any boundaries.
Well, look at this. There's some nice little Mexican. The pizza. Look at this. Pizza is here. Look at that.
Nice. Where are you? Where are you in Van right now?
I'm at a place called Rogue. Rogue Rogue
It's
Kitchen.
a cafe. It's like a little
No, it's a
cafe.
bar. It's like a bar. Rogue Wet Bar. It's a wet bar.
A wet bar.
Wet bar. Yeah.
Like a wet market? Like what's going on? Money.
It's a wet bar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it's
I
called.
get it. Yeah. I don't
Have
know.
you
I
been to
think that
Vancouver? Have you ever been here?
of course, many times.
Oh,
I was
okay.
there as a kid because I was in
Yeah.
Children's Hospital a lot. I think I told you about
Oh,
that.
that's right. Yeah. So they'd send you down here.
And I have
Yeah.
family there, so I was in Vancouver a lot when I was a kid, and I think the last time I was in Vancouver was 2018. So it's
Mm. Well,
been
you're actually the descendant of Lord Stanley, who Stanley Park is named after.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you're actually the great
Well, so I'm told.
grandson.
So I'm
Yeah,
told.
you're
So
the
I'm
great
told.
grandson of Lord Stanley. And
Yeah.
that I think we need to give you props for that,
I
if
mean,
nothing else.
what's
You
a
know.
what's a what's a lesser royal, right? You're just a citizen.
So
You're not like,
congratulations.
you know.
Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
I don't know this for sure. I cannot say for sure that that is just something my grandmother told me. So I can't say it's 100% unless I did like a DNA,
Yeah. Yeah.
package,
Now,
you
I
know.
should mention there's a lot of exciting things happening on this channel. I know it doesn't look like it, because we have no money. This is the lowest budget show on the
The
internet.
lowest budget.
There's nobody
In the
else
bar,
that
you go,
spends,
yeah, in the
yeah,
bar.
in the
Yeah.
bar. There's people trying to enjoy themselves, and we're fucking
Yeah.
them over because we're having this interview, which is great, because uh, what we want to do on this channel is we want to have a low budget because that way people have they have no expectation, right?
No high
The
quality production. No, definitely
the
not.
lower your
Can't do
expectation
that.
is, try to bring it down even lower because we're
Yeah.
never going to meet any kind of standard that you'll be happy
Yeah.
with. Um, our best guest so far, I'm
How's
trying to think
dinner
of our
coming
best.
along? Yeah.
It's very close.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah.
Show us some of the food. Show us the party.
We'll show you something. Hold on.
I'll call service when it's ready.
Hold
Yeah,
on. How do I
yeah.
switch the vid? Here we go.
I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
We're making
There you go.
Some sauce, some fingers, some yeah. There's some what do we got? Oh, we got the shrimp, the prawns,
Some shrimp. Yeah.
Prawns, scallops.
scallops. Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
No.
I haven't done any of
Shredded
that.
cheese.
Oh, it's good.
Some cock sauce. We got some cock sauce.
Hot sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. Got lots of things going on in this kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of things going on.
What is she saying there on the couch? I couldn't hear her.
Singing some womps. Some womp songs.
Chase the money.
Chasing money, chasing money. All right.
Chasing
Well,
money. Okay. And is she accusing us of chasing money or is she chasing money? I'm confused.
she's chasing money. I don't know.
Oh, she's trying to find. So she's what
Oh,
they
boy,
call
Tim.
a gold digger.
And it's not the gay Tim.
You better not be.
Don't be too talking your boyfriend. I don't like to call him your boyfriend.
It's
Right,
she's
anyways.
doing what they call gold digging. Is that correct?
Huh?
Is she a gold digger? Like a gold digger?
Her?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, I don't know, but I don't. No, I don't think so. No.
All right. I wanted to ask you about um mommies. Is this an actual thing? Does this exist? A sugar mama? Because there's a lot of guys out there that think, okay, all I got to do is meet
Well,
a rich woman, and then my life is set. Is that a real thing, or is
this
that
is
just
not a thing. I will
it's
explain
not a
why.
thing? Okay, okay.
I was seeing an East Indian girl, East Indian woman, I should say, not girl, in her 40s,
Okay.
couple kids.
And she's rich. I assume she's rich.
She makes good money.
Makes good money.
She's she was social worker. And you know, they don't necessarily when a woman has money, she wants usually a guy to be with her who also has money, has the same kind of income or
Yeah.
more, right?
So it's an
And
even playing field. Yeah.
an even kind of playing field. Like, so, when I was with this woman, she said, you're very good looking guy. Like, I would love to be with you, but at the same time, you don't make money. Like, you don't have this income that if I wanted to go on a vacation, I would have to basically pay for you to go on that vacation. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's totally understandable. Like, I'm like, and that didn't last. That was just like a month thing. But I was like, I understand that because when you make $50 an hour and I make, if I'm working, 17.40 an hour, like that's a huge difference, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not on your level. of income. I'm not on your level of social status, right?
Right. So it's going to be awkward. It's always going to be awkward until you
It's always gonna be
reach that
awkward about the
threshold.
money thing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's not the only rich woman I've been with. Like I've been with a doctor too. Kind of the
Yeah.
same thing, right? Like I just feel like it sucks, but when
Yeah.
people talk about sugar mamas, unless there's an actual woman out there who would be willing, like
Yeah.
I would say, like someone
Very
like
little, very
Mackenzie
small percentage.
Mackenzie Bezos or something could be sugar mama to a guy if
Yeah.
she wanted to, right? But
Okay.
if we're
So
talking like, you know, a woman
yeah.
with a good job or a good career, making a
Yeah.
couple hundred grand a year, it's not probably not going to be a sugar mama for anybody,
Right.
you know?
So
Like,
for these bums that are out on the street, and there's a lot of them. Like I'm down on East Hastings here sometimes, and these guys, they have nothing, right? They have no resources. They have nothing to offer a woman whatsoever. What's your dating
yeah,
advice for those guys? Like, just give up basically, or like what do they
I
do?
think find I think find someone who's in their same situation, you know?
So date a crack whore, basically, is your advice.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they do
Find
anyways, right?
find an
For the
well,
most
yeah,
part.
I mean, yeah.
They don't
But
have
the
much,
problem with
they don't
that
have
is
many options, right? They
not
don't
many
have options.
options. Yeah. But it
You know,
perpetuates the cycle, right?
I understand that. And that I don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't like that idea
No.
of perpetuating the same cycle over and over and over again. But do they is a rich woman going to come along and see them and feel sorry for them and take them in? And
No,
this is
they're
like
not. They're
there's a
disgusted by
zero
them.
point
Yeah.
zero 0.01% chance of that ever happening.
I've
Like,
watched this 100 times where people don't care about the homeless. They're actually disgusted by them when we should
yeah.
be sort of trying to elevate them, right? You see someone that's down and out, we should be going, oh, how do we
Problem
help this
is,
person? But that's not what people do.
the problem is we we have given free devices to do the drugs. We
Yeah.
have,
They have the
basically
safe
given out free
injection
drugs,
centers, right? Yeah.
safe injection centers. We've done
Yeah.
all these things. And in Nanaimo, I was watching a video how they have a dispenser outside the hospital for snooters, for pipes, for
Really?
everything. And you get it all
Right
for
outside
free
the hospital.
out of right outside the hospital in Nanaimo. I
Yeah.
believe it was in Nanaimo.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
you
if they
look
got
at
rid of
that.
it. They probably
Yeah.
got rid of it because people were complaining, right? But
Yeah.
they had that outside of the hospital, like right out the front door. So
Yeah.
all they're doing is perpetuating this situation to keep going, ongoing, ongoing, ongoing,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not going to get better unless they bring these people into treatment and they have no choice. And they
Yeah.
have
And
to
you
get
look at
treated,
that.
or,
You yeah.
you know, don't
You look
supply
at
them
that
with
and you go,
anything.
well,
Don't
what is
supply
the
them
real
with
agenda
nothing.
here? If we have these so-called safe injection centers and people are just staying addicted, they're not getting off the drugs, they're not getting the help that they need, then what are we doing? Like, what is the real agenda here? Or are they just misguided? What do you think is happening in
I
government
think
with this?
depopulation.
It's an agenda to depop, right? Like zero carbon means zero you. It's like you're the target.
Yeah.
We're going to deplatform everyone, and MAID. We have this program in Canada called MAID, medically assisted induced death,
Mm.
right? So yeah, maybe death is the agenda. I don't know. It sort of looks like that from a
Yeah.
legislative perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's sort of like this is supposed to be a fun show. It's supposed to be comedy, and here we are talking about
Yeah.
MAID, but
We're talking
it's
about
like,
vague, death,
we have
like
to reflect
very
the reality
sad
that
situations.
yeah, we have to
Yeah.
reflect the reality that we're in, and that's unfortunately a reality that a lot of people are blind to. It's like people don't pay attention to government because they're so in their own worlds that they're not
Yeah.
really looking at what's happening on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate that you're intelligent and you bring these topics to the conversation, but I do want to keep things light and I do like to joke around. So you were mentioning that you want to live outside again this summer, that you're done with apartment living, you want to live up in a place
No,
called
no, I was kidding. I actually I did find something else, but I can't speak on that right now.
Oh, okay. Not talk about
But
it. Long
yeah,
story.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
Um, I will potentially go with Reeve
With
and
what?
with Reeve
Reeve.
with Reeve. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you're
So
gonna rent an apartment with Reeve?
eventually, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, good luck to both of you. I hope that works out.
Well, not. Yeah. Not an
Yeah.
apartment, but yeah.
Have you found a
Anyway,
place or? Oh,
I'm
I
not.
have a story about that actually. I have a story about renting. I went to see a base. This was a basement apartment in a very nice old building, one bedroom apartment. It's renovated. Guess how much they're asking?
And where?
Vancouver. It's in West Van.
2 grand. 2 grand.
$2,400.
24. That's
I had to try to talk him down to 2 grand, and he
yeah.
wouldn't go for it. The lowest he would go is 2,300. He would only knock 100 off. Like this,
Wow.
oh, it's just you can't negotiate with these guys. So I walked away. I was just like, I
That's
can't,
ridiculous.
right? You know, for a basement, it's a basement. I can remember a basement you could rent it for 400 a month.
Yeah, right. I'm able to do things right now.
It's sick.
Just going
It's sick.
crazy, dancing and
Well,
shit out there.
you can rent an entire house. You can rent an entire house for 3 grand, and yet this guy's asking 2,400
Well,
for.
in Penn, you could rent a house for like 2400. Yeah, you could like 2400
Yeah,
in Penn.
but these rents,
So
I think, getting back to the dating thing, I think the rents are so high that what's happening is men have no resources left to be able to take a woman out for dinner, to be able to buy her flowers, to
I
be able
agree.
to um,
Yeah,
really have anything to offer to her in terms of support when it comes to resources. So I think that's a huge problem for people actually getting married and having children. Children are very expensive.
yeah.
Housing's very expensive. So I think everyone is
I
sort of
think
under
I
this
do think that
pressure.
people can still make it though if they're together and they're both
Right,
working. I look at my
right.
parents, right? My parents been together 32 years, I guess now. 33 years.
Yeah.
Um, and they both work
Okay.
and they make it, right? Like they raised me. Like I know it was cheaper back then, but even today, like their jobs are okay. They work full time. It basically what it is, I think both people in a relationship have to be working full time for anything
Look at
to work.
this. I found
I
a
see
book
that.
about
Wow.
FDR,
Yeah.
Franklin
Yeah.
Delano Roosevelt. Now, I don't have a tarot deck, and this is called Gong Show Tarot. So normally we pull a card for someone.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
instead,
that's upsetting because I really wanted you to
I'll
pull a
flip
card
these
for me.
pages. Tell me when to stop.
Stop. Stop.
Okay, page 35. His father was affectionate and companionable. His mother was doting. His nurses and governesses were much attached to their handsome and lively charge. That's you. So he had a happy childhood and early boyhood. Did you have a happy childhood?
Uh, I shouldn't say no. I shouldn't say no. You know why? Because my parents did give me basically they gave me everything, right? But I also had a lot of issues when I was a child. A lot of things happened,
Be
and
grateful. You had it handed
I'm
to you
just
on a silver
grateful.
platter.
I'm grateful for my
You are
family. I'm
grateful.
grateful for what they have given to me over my childhood to my adulthood, and even today, they still help me.
Good.
Um,
Then let's
so I
talk
am
about the
grateful
fakery. Let's talk about the next step. We have this project. It's a fakery. So
for the
it's a
fake.
fake bakery, and it's called Benny's Banana Bread.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that a little bit.
I think that is shut down, right? That's gone bankrupt.
Well, there's no money. How can you go
I
bankrupt?
know,
There's
so it's gone
nothing's been
bankrupt.
invested yet. It's
It's
just
it's gone bankrupt.
no. I mean, we applied for Dragon's Den. We'll see what happens. I haven't heard anything,
He
but
still has applied for a Dragon's Den.
yeah,
But there's no sales.
we have a
There's
recipe.
no
We have a
we have
recipe
a
for banana
recipe.
bread. Yeah, it's
Oh
not
yeah,
trademarked or
but
anything, but
we have an Instagram page, but
there's an Instagram page. Yeah, Benny's Banana Bread. You can follow it.
that's about it, right? We're pretty much